Germany is desperately looking for a way to rid the country of the thousands of migrants who have arrived and are still arriving. As part of coalition talks, the topic appears to be one of the most pressing. The Prime Minister of Hesse, Boris Rhein, is proposing to amend European law so that the possibility of accepting asylum applications takes place in third countries, outside the European Union. It may be that European law needs to be addressed. On this issue, it will be easier to do so among the member states. If we fail to do so, I am in favor of implementing it ourselves at the national level. This is an excerpt from a report on the main news edition of ARD television. CDU-CSU politicians will look for ways to solve Germany's most pressing problem, besides the economy, according to what was said in the election campaign. One proposal is to shift responsibility to the European Union level. The common problem gives new levers to enforce certain costs and enforce consequences, not taking in immigrants, for example. And here again, we can return to the topic of the Migration Pact and the fact that, of course, the Polish authorities, through the mouth of Donald Tusk, assure us that Poland is to be exempted from the solidarity mechanism. The search for solutions to the migration problem by Friedrich Merz, who is forming a coalition government, is a maneuvering between the expectations of voters, the promises made to them, and the conditions set by potential future coalition partners, whose rhetoric towards migrants is softer. If this government were to form, of course it would fail to deal with migration, because it would not be able to impose these tough policies on its coalition partner. Germany's domestic policy is not without its impact on our security, related to the influx of migrants from across the Oder. The problem is that both the SPD and the CDU would like to get rid of this problem with the help of throwing this hot potato, so to say, outside of Germany, forgetting that the only country that is responsible for the migrant crisis is Germany itself. The fact that our friends from across the Oder River will send us migrants en masse, that they suspect or there is some tenuous clue that they may have come to Germany from Poland, and of course they will be sending them to us. Germany is not debating whether, but how to get rid of the thousands of foreigners Angela Merkel invited earlier. They are certainly the ones who will benefit from the Migration Pact, adopted by the European Council. And contrary to what representatives of the December 13th coalition government in Poland say in the election campaign, Poland will not be exempt from the solidarity system. Poland will not implement any migration pact. This is a manifestation of yet another manipulation of Polish society, because of course this pact exists, has been adopted, and will be mandatory for us. The Polish side is also not responding to the fact that the Germans are conducting increased inspections on their side of the Oder River. Marcin Kierwiński, Minister for Reconstruction after the flood, and the Secretary General of the Civic Platform, spoke about this on the radio today. This is a diplomatic issue. We should hold talks with Germany that such practices are unacceptable. Should not only talk, but like Germany, introduce border controls on our side. As the Foreign Ministry confirms in its response, such talks are being held, although so far ineffectively, because the German side is effectively carrying out pushbacks. Meanwhile, Poland still has not introduced border controls on the western border. We asked the head of diplomacy, Radosław Sikorski, about this. The answer came from an anonymous official of the Information Department. We would like to refer in this context to a statement made by Prime Minister Donald Tusk on February 7th of this year, in which he stressed that Poland would not implement those parts of the Migration Pact that would have the effect of forcibly directing any additional migrants identified in other European Union member states to Poland. In its response, the Foreign Ministry refers not to facts and documents, but to Donald Tusk's statement. Is this enough for Polish people to feel safe, especially in view of the determination presented by the Germans, and by the way, the efficiency they show in getting rid of immigrants across the Polish border?